As Anne Friedberg documents in her book The Virtual Window, the proliferation of computer software, graphical user interfaces, and televisual aesthetics have radically altered both the screen and how we interact with it.
On the news floor. Dave, I need some paramedics up here now.
New and improved Joker products with a new secret ingredient. Smiley. What is this?
Drawing again on Bazan, who writes that a frame is centripetal, the screen is centrifugal. Pictures, like comic books, project space inwards, while films do not. Adaptations like Batman and Superman follow the rather classical path of directing space outwards, while Hulk, through its segmentation of the screen, and Sin City, through its abstraction of the screen from the frame, direct space inwards.
Those ruby lips and hair color, so natural, only your Undertaker knows for sure.
This redirection of space mirrors how the reader engages with a comic book. While the images are ultimately juxtaposed in space, the reader typically flows from one image to the next, only encountering the whole page before moving on to the next one. This fragmentation of the reader's experience is the direct result of the white border surrounding the comic book panel, also known as the gutter. Utilizing Friedberg's theory here, the convergence of technology and the audience's ability to engage with such imagery has led to a redirection of filmic space, similar to that of comic books in numerous aforementioned adaptations. Looking at a side-by-side comparison of American splendor and the evolution of visual form in both computers and television, one sees striking similarities to the comic book page. Of course, if it is the viewer's ability to read complex imagery, why hadn't film taken on such an aesthetic earlier? Just look at the Sistine Chapel. This brings us to our final point of analysis: comic book clout. Comic book clout has manifested itself in numerous ways. First and foremost, through the reliance on fan communities by Hollywood. San Diego Comic-Con, which you're seeing images of now, has mutated from being a meeting of the comic book community to a launchpad for non-comic book related Hollywood productions. This trend towards fan communities began with the production of Tim Burton's Batman. Fans, upset over the casting of then-comedian Michael Keaton as their dark hero, forced Warner Brothers to release a trailer showcasing the actor's actual sensibilities. This reliance on fan culture has further manifested itself behind the camera. While directing Sin City, Robert Rodriguez recorded fan reactions for the DVD and attempted to give his project some legitimacy by insisting on sharing his directorial credit with creator Frank Miller, a decision that later resulted in his resignation from the Directors Guild.
Promise that brings tears to my eyes. I tell her that everything will be all right. That I'll save her from whatever she's scared of and take her far, far away. I tell her I love her. The silencer makes a whisper of the gunshot. I hold her close until she's gone. I'll never know what she was running from. I'll cash her check in the morning.
Moreover, comic book adaptations have exhibited a huge amount of box office power. 5 of the top 50 all-time domestic box office leaders have been comic book adaptations. As Professor Brad Chisholm points out, comic books and tentpoles are an ideal pairing with the reliance on special effects and their inherent possibility for sequels. Comic book adaptations of the last 5 years have also found themselves on critics' top 10 lists and nominated for awards outside of technical effects categories. Hollywood is presently going through a reappraisal of the comic book medium. With this reevaluation, Hollywood has allowed the success of such tentpole box office magnets to open the door for many lesser properties such as A History of Violence and the upcoming Preacher miniseries. While such dynamics have also led to Hollywood having an effect on the comic book medium, it has also, as I've attempted to argue here, granted cinematic adaptations with the possibility of engaging on a level of formal equivalency. More than 100 years after Winsor McCay published Little Nemo in Slumberland, comics are going through a cultural renaissance.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man.